Hey folks, Chris here with the Crabapple Cottage. Today I'm going to make apple butter. This is about 3 or 4 bags of apples. Most of them came from Aldi, some came from the food pantry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel them, chunk them up, and then put them in a cooker. So hang with me. Okay, so I have this secondhand apple peeler that is not working. It's just basically destroying my apples. So I'm going to have to fiddle with that for a little bit, but I decided just to go with the easy route. Well, not easy, but simpler, I guess, which is to peel my apples with a standard apple peeler and chunk them up, core them, and then toss the chunks in a pan. So that's the process I'm doing. I got all the apples peeled, cored, chopped up. I just cut them into quarters and then again into half. Toss them into the roaster with a little bit of water and turned it on to, I think, 300, 275, something around there, which is about what a crock pot is at. So I wanted to get it similar to the same heat level temperature as a crock pot, since I've done apple butter in a crock pot before and it turned out really well. It's so nice to have the roaster oven because even though this isn't even full, this is a lot of apples. And before, when I did it in the crock pot, these wouldn't have all fit in the crock pot. So we'll see how long this takes. I put the apples in here yesterday evening, and I needed to go to bed. They weren't done because I kind of started really late in the day. So what I did is I turned the roaster oven down to the lowest setting, down to 150 degrees, made sure there was plenty of water in there, and I went to bed. Then this morning I woke up and I turned it back up. Now it's at 275. I think it was a little lower earlier. And check the water levels. Everything's looking good. I did put some cinnamon in there so it starts cooking the flavor in. You can see that the apples are getting tender and can be pretty easily smushed with a spoon. I really, really like cinnamon in mine. I think I'll have to check my recipe, but I think I did a little bit of nutmeg last time, and obviously I still need to put sugar in here. But I'm just kind of seasoning it, because remember, this is not apple sauce. This is apple butter. So you want it to have a stronger flavor because you're not going to be eating it with a spoon. It's going to be put over bread or toast or biscuits or rolls or something like that. So that's what it's looking like so far. We'll just see how long it takes here at the higher temperature. Here's what our apple butter looks like so far. It's been cooking all day. Like I said, I have put some cinnamon in it, but I haven't put any sugar in it yet. What I'm going to do is blend it up into a puree and then see what it tastes like, and then I'll add the sugar. So I'm going to be using this handheld immersion blender. Immersion blenders are amazing because you just stick it in here. You just stick it in here and push the button. Alright, so you can see it starting to blend up. So I'm going to put the camera down and get to it. Here is the apple butter after it has been blended with my immersion blender. So now I'm going to taste it, and I'm going to add cinnamon and other spices and sugar to taste. Okay, so the apple butter has cooked down. It has been seasoned. I've used white sugar, cinnamon, cloves, a little bit of brown sugar because I ran out of white sugar and I didn't feel like going down to my preps to get the rest, and some nutmeg. So I don't really have a recipe for it. I just kind of season it until I like the taste of it, but you can see the smooth consistency of it. I'm going to get my canning jars heated up, and then I'm going to can this. I probably could cook it down a little bit more and it would get a little thicker, but honestly, I'm losing patience. I need to go to bed. So I'm going to go ahead and get the canner started. So I've got some pint jars in my water bath canner. My water bath canner is just a big stock pot, honestly, with a lid. So I've got my pints down in there, as well as a silicone mat at the bottom. I don't have a rack that goes with this, so I just use the silicone rack. And then I also have the rest of my equipment laid out. I got my jar grabber, This is for lifting lids. I haven't actually used this before, so we'll see. I've got a funnel and then my headspace measure. Got some clean towels laid out. I've got my lids and bands soaking in some hot water there, softening up. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the water up to a higher temperature so that the apple butter and the water or the jars are similar temperature. Then I will dump the water out of the jars, fill them with apple butter, and then put them into process for 10 minutes. So it looks like I've got 7 pint jars of apple butter. I'm going to give them about a 1/4 inch of headspace. I'm going to wipe off the rims of the jars and put the lids on, and then we're going to put them in our water bath canner. So I processed my pint jars in my water bath canner for 10 minutes, turned off the heat, and let them sit here for 5 to 10 minutes, and now I'm going to take them out of a little water with my grabber. So we're going to get these out and see if they start popping. I did manage, oh, there's a pop. I did manage to get an 1/8 jar filled by scraping the bottom of the pan. Hear that sound? That's beautiful. So my jars are popping. I've heard at least 4. Hopefully the other ones are going to be popping soon if they haven't already. We'll come back and check them here in a little bit. It's the next morning. My jars have cooled and all 8 of them have sealed. But there we go. 8 jars of apple butter. I will take the rings off and put them in storage, and they'll be ready to eat on toast or rolls or to give as gifts.